Hi there, these comments are for LZ, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you're also one of my students in the English language program here at California State University, San Bernardino. So how are you doing today? And I'm looking at your essay specifically this morning. And let's take a look at it. So I think overall you have a fairly clear pattern of organization. So you know more or less how to organize your essay. You've written about 365 words, which is, I think, pretty good. But you're having a lot of language use issues. So a lot of different kinds of problems in your writing. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to take a look at your paragraphs and make some editing suggestions, right? So you can kind of see some of the problems you're having right now. So you have, if this news is true, I believe that I will be very happy. I would change this to say, give you a little bit better sentence structure, having a movie theater nearby my house could afford more fun I'd probably use the word give here, more fun in my spare time. So I support this idea. So you have some parallel structure problems here. You see, because it can makes, then you have active and then afford. So here you have a verb, right? Here you have an adjective, then here you have a verb. How about because of convenience, economic benefits, yeah, I don't know if these are different enough. The third paragraph, you have the positive economic influences. With the money gathering more and more there, the businesses surrounding could be updated. But then you have affording taxes. To me, these ideas are too similar. I don't see why you want to put them in different paragraphs. So that is an issue. So if you because paying taxes into the city, that's an economic influence. So both of these paragraphs basically are discussing similar things. But if you want to, the surge of taxes so I think we have, so if this news is true, I believe that I would be very happy. Having a movie theater near my house could give me more fun in my spare time. So I support this idea because of convenience, economic benefits, and the surge of taxes to the local government. The problem here is you don't really have any general statements here. This is, I think before you say if this news is true, I believe that I will be very happy, you need maybe 2 or 3 sentences that kind of, in a more general sense, set the topic or raise the topic. Have some kind of a hook. So I would suggest that. So I think before here, I would do that first. Include a general statement to raise a topic, and then say what you just said here. You say, first of all, I like watching movies. You said, in my spare time, I would put here. Sometimes it's good. I mean, you just said in my spare time here, so be careful about using exactly the same vocabulary or grammar every time. I like watching movies when I have free time, so building a movie theater near me could make it easier. I'm going to say here, for me to spend my free time. Then you say, I support to build a movie theater where has no cinema by my home. You've basically already said that. I mean, once you get past that topic sentence, you need to get more specific. I'm not saying you have to say this exactly, but instead of saying one of my hobbies, say this. So I'm a Star Wars enthusiast. Which means that you enjoy seeing Star Wars movies. Would allow me to enjoy So then, we don't need to say this. This is a more general statement. When you get into that, after that topic sentence, you need to get more specific. That's what I'm trying to show you how to do here. So you say, I am a Star Wars enthusiast, and having a theater in my neighborhood would allow me to enjoy my moviegoer hobby with my friends, since it would be much more convenient to watch movies. So we use the word for example to introduce this idea. Then we'll add to that moreover. Yeah, you're using what's called a symmetry. A symmetry on one hand, on the other hand. Not sure if it works though. Let's see what we have. So on the one hand, it always cost 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use that. You can say I always cost. You can't say cost. If I say the car costs $10,000, yes, but you spend $10,000 to buy the car. So you want to say here, I always spend 30 minutes to get to the nearest film cinema. If there's a cinema bare by my house, you want to say here, if there's a cinema nearby my house, you're having a lot of sentence structure issues here. If you're saying if there's a cinema nearby my house, you have to put a comma here, right? And you can no longer say that. You need to use an independent clause here to show that conditional relationship. So if there's a cinema nearby my house, I can save more time . Yeah, this idea, you're basically saying the same thing in two sentences, so sometimes you're a little bit repetitive, so I don't even think you need that sentence. So moreover, currently, I always spend 30 minutes to get to the nearest film center. If there is a cinema nearby my house, I can save, I can save a total $60 minutes of driving time . Then maybe say okay, so I think we got it. Let's take a look at this paragraph here. Yeah, we're 133. This is plenty. Alright, so I'm not going to continue to correct these other paragraphs. I'd probably be here another hour. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you an idea of what you can do. You want to be a little more specific in the ideas you're using. You're having a lot of sentence structure, word choice issues. So like I said, in the introduction, you need to include some general statements before you get to what we have here. And then we have, if this news is true, I believe that I'll be very happy. Having a movie theater near my house could give me more fun in my spare time. So I support this idea because of convenience, economic benefits, and the surge of taxes to the local government. So then we say, first of all, I like watching movies when I have free time, so building a movie theater near me could make it easier for me to spend my part-time. To spend my free time. I will use what you said before. For example, I am a Star Wars enthusiast, and having the theater in my neighborhood would allow me to enjoy my moviegoer hobby, maybe hyphen these two words, moviegoer hobby with my friends, since it would be much more convenient to watch movies. Moreover, currently I always spend 30 minutes to get to the nearest film center. If there is a cinema nearby, I can save a total of 60 minutes of driving because I will be able to walk to the theater. Therefore, I will be able to use that extra time I have saved to relax and enjoy my movie with my friends. So that's it. So it's in that particular okay, so this is pretty much it here. So I'm not going to continue to correct the paragraphs. So let's take a look at your score here. Let me go to the actual rubrics. So for you, at this point, you're having so many problems with your sentence structure and your word choice, it's difficult for you to communicate clearly in English when you're writing. And this particular problem cannot be easily solved. There's a combination of some things that you can do here. So in this one, sometimes inappropriate or lack of details, examples in response to the task. Sometimes what you're saying doesn't really support, it doesn't really directly connect back to your topic. You have a lot of problems with word choice, a large number of errors in sentence structure. So your score here, 2.0 out of 4, or 14 points out of 30. Now for the TOEFL, if you're taking the TOEFL exam, you would not have 53 minutes to write your essay. You actually took 53 minutes to put this together. I'm okay with that, but understand that the TOEFL would only give you 30 minutes to write this, and you would have to type it online. So it's very likely your score in the TOEFL exam would actually be lower than what you see here. Alright, so your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.0 out of 4, 14 points out of 30. And for this one, if you look at the rubrics, this puts you at 64% on this assignment. So what do you do? I mean, how do you get better here? What is your strategy? So I think there's a number of things that you can do that will have a big impact on whether or not you can improve the writing problems you're having right now. Number one, the most important one is keep speaking speaking English every day, especially in class, when you're outside of class, talking with students and things. Make sure that you're speaking English. I mean 100% of the time. When I'm looking at your essay, I feel like English is definitely not your first language and you're not sure how to use either vocabulary or grammar. Now, it's also important, as you're getting exposure to the language, make sure that you're reading on a regular basis. Every day, if possible, read newspapers, magazines, and books. This gives you more exposure to the language. Watch a lot of TV in English. You can watch news programs, documentary history, and even science programs. That's going to give you a lot of good exposure to the language. So in addition to that, go through, first of all, this will take you a couple of months, but it's going to be very beneficial for you in the long run. And guess what? Your TOEFL score will get really, really high. Go through the vocabulary lessons in my course. Pay attention to, and let me go to, I'm going to actually show you what you can do right now. So I'm going to go to my course so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, first go to the vocabulary section. This is the first step in my course, supersized vocabulary. I think if you can improve your vocabulary, you'll have a lot more appropriate and more accurate word choice. So here's my recommendation. First of all, do vocabulary lesson number 3. Learn these 200 basic words, first of all. Number 2, go to vocabulary lesson number 4. And then you can take all these quizzes to check your comprehension. Then do vocabulary lesson number 5 here. Then you can do all these quizzes to check your comprehension. And then vocabulary lesson number 6. And again, you can take all these quizzes to test your comprehension. What this will do is, this adds another 1,700 college level words to your English, and many, many good things are going to happen there. Now, I even recommend, this is a slow process, but if you're patient, if you're methodical, you want to take these are 1,700 words, start putting these words onto note cards, maybe put the word on one side, you can put the definition in a sample sentence, maybe some parts of speech on the other side, start reviewing those cards. Right? Like I said, this is a 2-month process, but start this immediately. This is going to help you really improve your writing, your speaking, your reading will get better. Okay, now let's go to grammar. I clicked on the wrong one here, sorry. Let me go back. What I want to do now is to show you what you can do in the grammar part of my course. Because you're having a lot of problems with sentence structure, you need to improve your grammar. The first thing you can do here in the grammar part of my course is take the grammar diagnostic pretest first, and then you can get it scored. And remember, all of these things will not affect your grade in my class at all. It's just extra practice for you because you're having so many problems with your writing. So do the grammar diagnostic pretest here, and that will tell you which of these lessons you need to focus on the most. And then start completing these grammar lessons. This is very, very important. Again, this is a maybe 1 to 2 month process. It'll take some time to go through all these lessons. And I even recommend that you keep a grammar journal where you can write down some of the new structures you're learning. And that's going to be very helpful for you. Now finally, my last suggestion is, between now and the final exam, I recommend that you take maybe 4 to 6 additional writing practice tests so you can get more feedback. My teaching assistant will read and score your practice test, and with practice you can get better, right? It is. So you'll learn how to organize a little bit better. You remember with your essay that I was telling you here, what you want to do when you're doing these, when you're doing some of these practice tests, you want to work on creating a longer introduction and make sure you have some general statements before you get to your thesis. And the example here in the second paragraph, I showed you how you can be more specific. You have a tendency to be a little bit too general in the ideas that you say, and that's not going to help your argument. So you can do some additional practice with writing by completing some of the independent writing practice tests directly at my website. See what we're saying? So if we go here, yeah, my recommendation here is when you go to the writing section, you see all these practice tests. I have over 40 of them. What I recommend is you practice 1 through 10 here, and then when we do the final exam, I'll pick something over here for us to do in class. So this is going to be really good for you. So it's a combination for you of really speaking as much English as you can every day, watching TV, reading on a regular basis, going through the vocabulary and the grammar lessons in my course, and completing some additional practice tests on my website so you can get more feedback and you can get better. Alright? Anyway, thank you very much for completing this midterm exam, and I look forward to reading your final paper in this class.